Shared decision-making is a process of determining a pathway of success while including the thoughts, ideas, and preferences of all stakeholders. Today, we will discuss four main principles that derive and describe shared decision-making. We will include the effects of teacher empowerment, as well as the types, benefits, and components of shared decision-making. We will also discuss definitions, principles, and suggestions for how shared decision-making can be utilized in your job. At the end, I will share a time in which shared decision-making helped to solve a controversial issue. Teacher empowerment is derived on the premise that teachers have a right to utilize their professional judgment to provide input on school policies and procedures that affect them. When teachers are empowered, it improves their status, builds relationships that are more trusting, and improves the communication within the ranks. One example is the frameworks for excellence that we created to provide ways to self-evaluate and reflect upon our programs and have tangible objectives for improvement. As a group, we all discussed the various components of our programs and collaborated to determine what levels of proficiency and exemplary look like. After its implementation, we reconvened to adjust aspects of the document that may not have initially worked. That document today serves as a beacon toward which we all strive for excellence. DeMatthews describes four levels of decision-making, progressing from the most control to the least: autocratic, consultative, joint, and delegation. Autocratic decision-making does not necessarily seek the input of others, and I am not certain I would include this as a type of shared decision-making. However, it is useful at times. One example may be how you operate different aspects of your classroom, such as seating assignments. Consultative decision-making provides the leader with information based on receiving input from stakeholders, but the decision ultimately lies with the leader. As band directors, this is probably the most utilized method of decision-making. We will often consult others for ideas on hiring staff members, planning lessons, purchasing equipment, and a variety of other options, but the decision lies with us in the end. Joint decision-making allows for others to have an actual part of the decision. Not only are their voices heard, but their input is counted. The most common examples include boards or committees comprised of individuals who all have an equal vote. The final example of decision-making, delegation, gives full control over to others who make decisions. For band directors, this often includes how parents are utilized within our programs, such as building props, organizing uniforms, or decorating for events. DeMatthews also noted four benefits to shared decision-making. These include decision quality, decision acceptance, satisfaction, and leadership. Again, if we remind ourselves of the process of creating the frameworks for excellence, we will see how these benefits were produced through the exercise of shared decision-making. The quality of the document is sound and has been widely sought out as a guideline for other school districts. At first, there were very different ideas as to what constitutes proficiency and excellence in band programs. Many people felt discouraged to see their programs being labeled in such a manner. However, through the process of shared decision-making, we have seen acceptance. Intertwined with acceptance is satisfaction. After years of development, the dividends of setting clear objectives and improvement are paying off, which leads us to leadership. 9 of our programs were just recognized as earning the state's highest award. We are now becoming leaders in our profession. Shared decision-making has 3 components in its implementation: using unbiased evidence, having decision support, and understanding stakeholder preferences. One of the most difficult aspects of the frameworks was to explore the unbiased data from our band programs, as well as others throughout the state, and remove our own biases. The evidence demonstrated that we collectively were not all performing at our highest level. Fortunately, we have seen that by being involved in moving forward, we are seeing support from both administration as well as the school board. Your preferences were a key portion of the implementation of this document, and dividends have been great. While there are many ways that shared decision-making is useful in our profession, I'd like to offer one area in which this strategy can be particularly useful. All of us need parent volunteers to handle many aspects of our program. We rely on them, but as we all know, we need to lead them in the right direction. This can be controversial because parents must walk a fine line between providing the needs of the band program without dictating direction to the band director. Each has their roles. As volunteers, they willingly give up many hours and often finances in support of your program, which means they can easily leave if they do not feel appreciated or validated. Consider including them in setting financial priorities for your program. You'll be surprised how much their vision matches yours, and if they feel that is their idea, they will more likely be supportive to achieve it. Volunteers can be utilized in many facets. Consider allowing your band parents to provide insight. Their perspective is one from the inside and outside, and they see things we do not. When I first took the band program at Malden High School, the previous band director did not have a budget for staff. I had three main ideas that I wished our parents would utilize, but I needed their input. So when I asked them, they gave me the three ideas that they thought were most important. Fortunately, those aligned with mine as well. It is through this process that we were able to highly raise the amount in our budget utilized for those three things. And because they saw it as their idea, they supported it financially. Shared decision-making is immensely important in our professional lives. We must utilize these strategies to hear the voices of our stakeholders and make sure they feel valued. This gives our organizations opportunities that are well constructed and inform the venue of letting those involved be heard. A culture of vision and trust winds its way through all facets of our organization. This will yield immeasurable benefits in the perceived and actual success of your groups. Thank you.